Most companies want free enterprise in general because that produces better goods and services and makes people's lives better, but they don't want it in their business. They want protection from competition, they want subsidies, they want the government to pick winners and losers, and they want to be picked as winners, and that's what we're opposing, and that's what drives my whole efforts in policy, and in the political arena. We strive to hire and retain only those who embrace our MBM guiding principles, which encompass integrity, compliance, value creation, principled entrepreneurship, customer focus, knowledge, change, humility, respect and fulfillment. The poorest Americans use 3 times the energy as the percentage of their income as the average American does. This is going to disproportionately hurt the poor. It may make the whole electric grid unstable, depending on how it is enforced. And it does nothing for the climate. To end cronyism, we must end government's ability to dole out favors and rig the market. If you never failed, then you're probably not doing very much. We must measure what leads to results, not simply what is easy to measure. If you have methods without principles, you're going to have trouble. But if you develop methods based on principles, then you can make progress. But crony capitalism erodes our overall standard of living and stifles entrepreneurs by rewarding the politically favored rather than those who provide what consumers want. Best part of my job is fulfillment. When I see that we're creating value, that we're helping improve people's lives, and we benefit from it, so it's a system of mutual benefit. Our philosophy's working. That's what turns me on. That's what keeps me going. Repeatedly asking for government help undermines the foundations of society by destroying initiative and responsibility. It is also a fatal blow to efficiency and corrupts the political process. We are on dangerous terrain, and government picks winners and losers in the economy by subsidizing favored products and industries. The only way you improve is to try new things. I like to think that I try to learn something every day, and change my views, modify my views as I learn. So to the best we can, what we do is focus on creating value for others, and how do we do that? We do it by trying to produce products and services that our customers will value more than their alternatives, and not just their alternatives today, but what the alternatives will be in the future. We try to more efficiently use resources than our competitors, and constantly improve in that, and we try to do the best job we can in creating a safe environment, and environmental excellence, and constantly improve at that. Hubris, arrogance, is just one step ahead of loss of integrity, because if you think you're better than other people, you know more, then you're going to think, as many leaders have, that the rules don't apply to them, so they lose their integrity. Economy is so riddled with corporate welfare and anti-competitive regulations, anti-innovation regulations. Regulations that are destroying opportunities for the disadvantaged, which is creating this two-tiered system we're headed for, which is destroying opportunities for the disadvantaged and creating welfare for the wealthy. Putting aside all the things that are said about Hillary Clinton, my main difference with her is on the vision of what kind of society will make people's lives better. So this is a vision of society in which people are too evil or stupid to run their own lives, but those in power are perfectly capable of running everybody else's lives because they're so much smarter. What hermeneutics teaches is that progress comes from being exposed to different points of views, because there's no point of view that is right for all situations and all times. And even if it's superior to the others, you can enrich it by drawing on others or thinking, why is that wrong and how do I improve my approach? How do I come up with a better approach? So that's essential for innovation, just like it is in technology. I try to build on our management philosophy. I try to understand what the threats and opportunities are for us. I try to make sure that we're driving innovation and creative destruction hard enough so we're not blindsided, and that our attitude is to, in starting any initiative, any business, is to focus on how we can create value for others, rather than how we maximize profit, because you can make money focusing on, how do I maximize profit? I think our biggest problem in society is we're headed more and more toward a two-tiered society. That is, creating welfare for the wealthy and destroying opportunities for the disadvantaged. Years later, when I asked my father, I said, "Pop, why were you so much harder on me than my younger brothers?" He said, "Son, you plumb wore me out." Anytime students shout down a speaker who says something different, this is not good. My parents worked really hard at communicating other values they felt were important, such as integrity, courage, humility, treating others with dignity and respect, and having a thirst for knowledge. The role of business is to provide products and services that make people's lives better, while using fewer resources, and to act lawfully and with integrity. Innovation comes from recombining existing technology and different perspectives in innovative ways. You've got to learn to work with others. One of my main values is, you learn this system of mutual benefit. That is, if you shirk and you try to make the other guy do more, he's going to do that to you. If somebody is doing more and more to make other people's lives better, have them make all they can, if that's what drives them, because that's what we want. I learned that unless you start working, if you're frozen out of work, you will never learn the habits, the discipline, the values of cooperation and improvement unless you get a job, and that's what statistics show. It's, unless you get a job and keep it, you will not get out of poverty. If you do, you have a very good chance of working out of poverty. The old idea that some genius pulls all of this stuff out of the air is ridiculous. As Ridley pointed out, the only way Edison could invent the light bulb is because all the elements had been developed before. That's obvious. It wasn't just his genius, 20 others developed it at the same time. And that's true for almost every invention and discovery. My father told me, if you choose to let this money destroy your initiative and independence, then it will be a curse to you, and my action in giving it to you will have been a mistake. I shall regret very much to have you miss the glorious feeling of accomplishment. Remember that often adversity is a blessing in disguise and is certainly the greatest character builder. Our vision controls the way we think and, therefore, the way we act. The vision we have of our jobs determines what we do and the opportunities we see or don't see. You can pay certain people more money and stuff, but that's just going to be a transfer from one group to another. The only way people's wages are going to rise overall, or average median income is going to rise, is if you increase productivity. We try to evaluate how much value an employee is creating here and reward them accordingly. The role of business is to provide products and services that make people's lives better, while using fewer resources, and to act lawfully and with integrity. Businesses that do this through voluntary exchanges not only benefit through increased profits, they bring better and more competitively priced goods and services to market. This creates a win-win situation, customers and companies alike. My father wanted to instill the work ethic. And, because he knew if you don't learn to work to be more productive, to improve your efficiency, to cooperate with other people at an early age, you may never learn those habits. The government is largely influenced by people who advocate corporate welfare and advocate these policies that create this two-tiered society. Citizens who over-rely on their government to do everything not only become dependent on their government, they end up having to do whatever the government demands. In the meantime, their initiative and self-respect are destroyed. That's the first rule for anybody who controls: do no harm. I don't like the idea of capitalism anyway. Because it's not capital we are talking about, it's knowledge and creating well-being. Because that gets people on the wrong track when it's capital and how we allocate capital. No. How do we create the Republic of Science in America? How do we have a system of mutual benefits where people succeed by helping others improve their lives? So I don't like that at all.